Hey everyone, Yasin here. Let's talk about international travel. It's something many of us dream about, right? Experiencing new cultures, trying new foods, seeing incredible sights. But the reality is, the world is complex. As we move further into the 21st century, certain geopolitical realities are becoming increasingly unavoidable. For American citizens, navigating these realities sometimes means confronting the fact that, well, not every country is eager to welcome us with open arms. Whether due to long-standing political tensions, recent diplomatic clashes, or ongoing safety concerns, there are places in the world where traveling with a US passport can present unique challenges, even outright risks. So, in this video, we're going to dive into this often overlooked aspect of international travel. We'll be looking at 10 countries where, for various reasons, Americans might not be welcome in 2025. Our first stop takes us to the Korean Peninsula, a place seemingly frozen in time. North Korea has existed in a state of self-imposed isolation for decades. This isolation makes it incredibly difficult for Americans to visit. Tourist visas are rarely granted and come with strict limitations. The US government strongly advises against travel to North Korea. The heavily guarded DMZ offers a glimpse into this reclusive nation. Our journey takes us westward now, to Iran, a country with a rich history and culture often overshadowed by political turmoil. Relations between the United States and Iran have been strained for decades, marked by periods of hostility and mistrust. This diplomatic frostiness has made travel to Iran a complicated affair for Americans. While technically possible to obtain a visa, the process is notoriously difficult and often subject to unpredictable delays or denials. The US government maintains a travel advisory for Iran, urging citizens to reconsider travel due to the risk of arbitrary arrest and detention. This cautionary tone stems from past incidents where Americans have been caught in the crosshairs of political tensions. Despite the challenges, Iran holds an undeniable allure for many travelers. Its ancient ruins, stunning mosques, and vibrant bazaars offer a glimpse into a world often misunderstood. However, until diplomatic relations thaw, Iran will likely remain a challenging, if not impossible, destination for most Americans. Our next destination is Venezuela, a nation facing political and economic turmoil. Hyperinflation, shortages, and social unrest are rampant. The US advises against travel due to crime and instability. Diplomatic relations are strained, and assistance is limited. Stay informed about global events. Our journey now takes us to a region ravaged by conflict, Syria. For over a decade, Syria has been embroiled in a brutal civil war, leaving its people facing unimaginable hardship and displacement. The ongoing conflict has devastated the country, reducing once vibrant cities to rubble and displacing millions of people. The US government strongly advises against all travel to Syria, citing the extreme risk of kidnapping, injury, or death due to the violence. The situation in Syria is a tragic reminder of the human cost of conflict and the devastating impact it has on travel and cultural exchange. While Syria boasts a rich history and incredible archaeological sites, like the ancient city of Palmyra, the current reality makes it an impossible destination for Americans. The US government's ability to provide assistance to citizens in Syria is extremely limited, making it even more crucial for Americans to heed the warnings and avoid travel to this war-torn nation. Yemen, a country mired in a devastating civil war since 2014. The conflict has led to a catastrophic humanitarian crisis with widespread famine, disease, and displacement. The US government advises against travel to Yemen due to the ongoing conflict and terrorism threats. Yemen's rich history and stunning architecture remain inaccessible to Americans, a stark reminder of the importance of peace and stability worldwide. Our journey takes us to North Africa, to the country of Libya, a nation struggling to rebuild after years of political instability and conflict. Since the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, Libya has been plagued by factional violence, political divisions, and a fragile security situation. The US government advises against all travel to Libya, citing the high risk of crime, terrorism, and civil unrest. The presence of armed militias operating outside government control further complicates the security situation, making it unpredictable and dangerous. While Libya holds historical significance as the home to ancient Roman ruins like Leptis Magna, the current reality paints a different picture. The lack of a unified government and the ongoing presence of armed groups make it impossible to guarantee the safety of travelers, especially Americans. It's a reminder that political transitions can be tumultuous, and that stability is crucial for safe and accessible travel. Our journey continues in East Africa, to the country of Somalia, a nation grappling with decades of conflict, instability, and humanitarian crises. Somalia has been plagued by civil war, terrorism, and famine, leaving its people facing unimaginable hardships. The U.S. government strongly advises against all travel to Somalia, citing the very high risk of kidnapping, terrorist attacks, and violence. The security situation is extremely volatile, and the Somali government's ability to maintain control and provide security is limited. While Somalia possesses a rich cultural heritage and stunning natural beauty along its coastline, the current reality makes it an impossible destination for Americans. The threat of violence is pervasive, and the lack of infrastructure and basic services further complicates travel. It's a stark reminder of the devastating impact of prolonged conflict and the importance of international cooperation in addressing these complex challenges. Our journey brings us to Afghanistan, a country that has witnessed decades of conflict and political upheaval. Following the withdrawal of U.S. troops and the Taliban's return to power in 2021, Afghanistan has entered a new era of uncertainty. The U.S. government strongly advises against all travel to Afghanistan due to the unstable security situation, the risk of terrorism, and the potential for civil unrest. The Taliban's takeover has raised concerns about human rights, particularly for women and girls, and the country faces a dire humanitarian crisis. While Afghanistan boasts a rich history and breathtaking landscapes, like the rugged Hindu Kush Mountains, the current reality makes it an impossible destination for Americans. The security situation is unpredictable, and the U.S. government has limited ability to provide assistance to citizens in Afghanistan. It's a reminder of the complexities of international relations and the long-lasting impact of conflict on a nation's stability and accessibility to the outside world. Our journey takes us to Iraq, a country still recovering from years of conflict and political instability. Following the US-led invasion in 2003, Iraq has been grappling with sectarian violence, terrorism, and the challenges of rebuilding a shattered nation. While the security situation has improved in recent years, the US government still advises against all but essential travel to Iraq. The risk of terrorism, kidnapping, and armed conflict remains a serious concern, particularly in certain areas of the country. Iraq is home to ancient Mesopotamian cities like Babylon and Ur, as well as important religious sites for Shia Muslims. But the current reality requires caution and careful consideration. Travel to Iraq remains unpredictable, and the U.S. government's ability to provide assistance to citizens in need is limited. It's a reminder that rebuilding a nation after conflict is a long and arduous process, and that stability and security are essential for tourism to flourish once again. Our final stop takes us to Sudan, a country undergoing a delicate political transition following decades of authoritarian rule and internal conflict. In 2019, a popular uprising led to the ousting of longtime dictator Omar al-Bashir, but the path to democracy has been fraught with challenges. The U.S. government advises against all travel to Sudan due to the ongoing political instability, the potential for civil unrest, and the risk of crime and terrorism. The security situation can be unpredictable, and the country is still grappling with the legacy of past conflicts. Sudan is a land of ancient pyramids, stunning desert landscapes, and the confluence of the Blue and White Nile rivers. However, the current reality requires careful consideration and awareness of the potential risks. The U.S. government's ability to provide assistance to citizens in Sudan is limited, making it essential for Americans to exercise caution. It's a reminder that political transitions are often fragile, and that stability is crucial for safe and accessible travel. So there you have it. 10 countries where Americans might face significant challenges or risks when traveling in 2025. It's important to remember that this list is not exhaustive, and the global landscape is constantly changing. Before you book your next trip abroad, especially if you're considering any of the destinations we've discussed, I encourage you to do your research. Check the U.S. Department of State's travel advisories, familiarize yourself with local laws and customs, and consider the potential risks involved. Remember, Traveling safely and responsibly is always paramount. Stay informed, stay curious, and most importantly, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.